Hello Leo, Sun, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So Leo, today we're going to go over your energy as well as your person's energy. So with all that being said, Leo, let's get started. How does Leo currently view, this relationship? How does Leo, All right, so we do have the Ace of Wands, we do have the Star, and then we also have the Justice card. I'm getting that a lot of you are connecting with somebody fairly new, because this to me feels like an energy of, I think I finally found the one. But we'll see. Like, it has that type of feel to it. All right, let's look at this person. This person might be a Libra, possibly an Aquarius, maybe even a fire sign. So a Leo like yourself, possibly a Sag or an Aries. How does this person currently view this relationship? Okay. So we do have the Temperance card. I feel like this person, I don't know, maybe, I don't know if it's because I don't know if you make this person nervous, or this is just somebody who suffers from anxiety, or what's going on here, but I am getting that you make this person very nervous. You do. You definitely make this person very nervous. You kind of give them the butterflies. Ugh, I hate that feeling. Don't you just freaking hate that feeling? Ugh. Anyways, so we have the Temperance card, and then we also have the Knight of Swords. They feel really good about you, though. I mean, despite the fact that you make this human nervous, they do feel really, really good about you. I mean, they do perceive you as somebody who they essentially feel means well. And this is also somebody who is already, falling for you and developing a lot of emotions for you. They may have Pisces within their chart, or they might be a Pisces. Because I am definitely getting that this person's already like picturing, their life with you and all this stuff. So this person might be a Pisces. It's a possibility, or they might just have Pisces within their chart. But yeah, it's like they're already picturing the house you guys are going to live in, the wedding, the children. Yeah, I am kind of getting a whole lot of that coming from this one over here. Okay. How does Leo currently feel? Okay. Oof, that's nice. I love the fact that you guys feel really good about one another, but I think that, let's be honest, like, I think you guys both know the direction in which this is kind of heading in. You know what I mean? Like, I think that deep down inside that it's only a matter of time, before the two of you jump into higher levels of commitment with one another. I think that you can feel on a soul level as well as on an intuitive level that this person's eventually gonna want more out of you in their relationship with you. And homie, if it's one thing that I will say is that you're definitely spot on. But I think that you guys just both know. You guys know. You know that they're the one for you, and they know that, you're the one for them. I mean, we do have the Hierophant to the High Priestess out here. So this could definitely be somebody that you can totally see yourself getting married to one day. And this is somebody who could possibly see themselves getting married to you one day, and the reason why I say that is because we do have the Hierophant to the High Priestess. These are two people who are technically speaking married to one another. So there's a possibility that you might already find yourself feeling like this is somebody that you can totally see yourself getting married to and growing old with, vice versa. Okay, so far so good. This feels like a very fast-growing connection too. But I feel like even though it is a fast-growing connection here between the two of you, it doesn't feel like it's moving fast. Does that even make sense? Like, it's moving fast, it just doesn't feel like it's moving well. You know what I mean, okay? It just doesn't, I don't know, that's weird. It doesn't feel like it's moving fast. I don't know, maybe you guys feel like you guys have known each other your whole entire lives, even though technically speaking you guys haven't. Like, maybe the relationship makes you feel that way. How does this person currently feel? They are definitely falling for you, and it does kind of scare the hell out of them. And they know, love is a fucking gamble. It really, really is. You never know. It could totally work out, or it could totally blow up in your face one day, It's a gamble. And they know that. But I am getting that they are definitely falling for you, and it does scare them, and it does cause them to, feel like they're currently in a very vulnerable situation right now, because they are. I just, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know, like, have you ever met somebody and thought to yourself, like, oh my God, yo, like, if this shit don't work out, it's gonna hurt like hell. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of like what they're going through. Poor thing. Poor thing. Tell me more about the Ten of Swords. Ooh, okay. Wait, don't run from me. All right, tell me more about the Ten of Swords. You know, another thing too, you're just so different. You're just so different from what they're like accustomed to essentially dealing with. Which is, you know, why they like you so much, why they like you so much. Like, there's not one thing that this person like dislikes about you. Like, they love everything about you, which they didn't even think was possible. Well, yeah. Because, you know, I'm sorry, but I always kind of find something that I don't fucking like about someone. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I don't know. Maybe it is just me, but it's like, there's always like one or two things, right? Like, you know, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but it just, there's nothing that they like, yeah, dislike about you. Like, they love everything about you. So, I mean, it makes sense as to why, like, they're just like, oh, this doesn't fucking work out. This shit is gonna suck. It's gonna hurt. Poor thing. Okay. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Well, on the bright side, right? You seem very serious about them. They're very serious about you. Y'all are both very serious about each other. You guys are on the exact same page. You want them. They want you. I mean, it's looking good. Okay? It's looking great. What actions will Leo take towards this person? Okay. Or moving forward. We have the Empress. Interesting. Huh. Interesting. It's very interesting that you're, which that's the only thing that I can think of, that's why you're kind of falling into that energy. It's, how do I explain this? I think that you can sense and feel that this person's very serious about you, right? And their relationship with you. So let's just throw that out there, right? But it's like, it's weird because you're kind of like falling into this energy of like, I just don't understand. Like, why does this person want something serious with me? But it's weird because you're an Empress. So how do I explain what you could be going through? I don't know if you dealt, which I'm pretty sure you probably have, considering the fact that you're an Empress. And it looks like in the past you've dealt with people who harness King of Swords energy and King of Wands energy, which is not necessarily a good mix if you think about it, because, which, did I get a court card for this person? I don't know if I did get a court card, which is really important because I really want to look into that. I really want to see how they show up, but it's not a good idea for like somebody of your caliber to like get involved with a King of Wands like energy or a King of Swords like energy, because a King of Swords is somebody who's always going to feel threatened by an Empress, and a King of Wands is always going to feel threatened by an Empress. Always. You know what I mean? Like, this is that type of, these are the type of people that when they find themselves dealing with somebody who's out of their league, they're very quick to try to make that person feel insecure. They're very quick to try to make that person feel like they ain't all that in a bag of chips, even though they are. And I kind of felt like you dealt with a lot of those, right? Where you would get involved with someone and that person will make you feel like you really ain't all that, but you fucking are. You know what I mean? I just kind of feel like because you exposed yourself to people that are like this, that will turn around and make you feel insecure, turn around and make you feel like you ain't all that, but you are. And I feel like that's kind of why you were looking at this person like, I don't understand like why this person wants something serious with me. And it makes sense as to why you would like feel that way, especially if you dealt with a bunch of men or women that made you feel less than or made you feel like you weren't good enough. But they were just kind of projecting their own insecurities onto you. And I feel like it kind of like messed with you a little bit to the point where you're doing you're doing this, right? Like you're looking at them like, I don't know, like I don't understand why they want to be with me. It's like, well, what the fuck do you mean, Leo? I mean, you're a damn Empress. Like, why wouldn't they? You know, why wouldn't they? And I understand it's kind of stemming from a place of, well, this person made me feel like this and that person made me feel like that. So there's no way that I am all that in a bag of chips. But it's like they were just kind of projecting their own shit onto you. You know, this is kind of why it's never a good idea for you to like deal with insecure people. It's not a good idea. Not a woman of your caliber, not a man of your caliber, because they're just gonna try to like make you feel less than because they feel less than, you know, standing next to somebody like you, like a woman of your caliber, a man of your caliber, you know what I mean? Let me take this back just in case, because I want to get a court card for this person. What actions? All right. So this person knows, you know what I mean, that you're what they want, you know? I am definitely getting that. The real question is, are they what you essentially want? I want a court card for them. All right, they're showing up as a King of Cups. They're showing up as a King of Cups, so... Okay. I mean, it's better compared to like what you were dealing with. When it comes down to this person, it's going to be a money thing for them is kind of what I'm getting. Like, I think that you're somebody who has a better career than them, a better job than them. You make more money than they do. You're far more established than them. Like I do see them feeling really insecure in their relationship with you, but it's in regards to money and where they're at career-wise. Okay. I'm trying to think, have I ever seen this pair together, the King of Cups to the Empress? One thing that I will say, okay, let's be realistic here. You're an Empress. Okay, you're an Empress. They're a King of Cups. I don't think that it's gonna bother you that, you know, you make more money than them. I don't think that it's gonna bother you that you're more established than them. I don't think that that's gonna bother you. I think that what's gonna really bother you when it comes down to this person is the financial decisions that they make. Because they're still learning to make better like financial like decisions, and they're still learning to manage their money and stuff like that. But I mean, at least, you know, in reference to them, I think that it's just, I mean, you're the total fucking package. So it's like, you know, they're gonna feel very insecure in the sense where they're gonna feel like, you know, you're somebody that is clearly more established than them and or more successful than them, as well as responsible than them. But that's in the realm of like, you know, money is kind of what I'm getting. And I do believe that that will make this person feel very insecure. I think that this person over time is going to find themselves becoming very jealous and envious of the position that you're essentially in. You know what it is? They kind of come off to me as like a lover boy or like a lover girl. Like you get it, right? You're gonna understand what I'm talking about. Like, you understand that there's more to life than just love. You know, there's, you know, the life that you want for yourself and, you know, your goals and stuff. Like, you understand that, okay, like love is a thing, you know what I mean? And it's a great thing, but you understand there's way more to life than just that. You know what I mean? Them, on the other hand, they just, you know, like they're just, I just want love in my life. I just want somebody that I can love and somebody who's going to love me, you know, like, and I think that that's just who they are, you know, and I'm going to be honest with you. Like, even though you're not going to mind that you make more money than them and that you're more established than them, it's a possibility that it could bother you later. Like, you might go as far as to try to push them, right? To like do better, like financially, or you might try to like, you know, help them, you know, start a business or encourage them to start a business, I'm going to be honest with you. Not everybody wants to be the top dog, okay? They don't strike me as somebody who does want to be the top dog. They're cool with their 9 to 5. They're cool with not becoming a millionaire one day. They're cool with it. You know what I mean? Like they're cool with it, you know? So if you could accept that, you'll be great, you'll be fine, you know? Because that's the only thing that I'm kind of worried about with you, right? It's like, I think that as far as them not being on your level financially, like you might be like, oh, whatever, it doesn't matter because I made my own money, like who cares, right? And it's like, yeah, all right, cool. But I fear that it might bother you later. Because at the end of the day, you're all about growth. You're all about expansion. You want the most out of life. You know, you're that type of person that if you see a nice ass car, you're gonna bust your ass to go get that nice ass car. You don't care if you have to work up from fucking sun up to sundown. You're gonna make it happen, you know? Them, on the other hand, it's like, this is that type of person that might see a nice car and be like, oh, that's cool. And I wish I had a car like that. Oh, well. Are they gonna bust their ass from sun up to sundown to go get it? No, they're not gonna do that. They're cool with where they're at. They're cool with where they're at, you know? So, you know, then there's that. But I feel like that's going to be an issue in this relationship, man. At least for you. And I feel like as far as them is concerned, they're just, I think that the only reason why they're going to be jealous and envious, you know, when it comes down to the position you're in, is because you can do far more with your life than they can, you know? Because you make more money than them, because you're more established than them, you know? So there's going to be things that, you know, they're going to want to do with their life that they can't do, but they know you can, you know what I mean? Like, so I do see them becoming jealous and envious, you know what I mean? Of you, but is it going to like push them to go start a business? Nah, like they don't have the desire. They don't have the desire to be the top dog of the company or make a shitload of money. Like they're cool where they're at. And there's nothing wrong with that either, honestly, if you think about it. There's nothing fucking wrong with that. You know what I mean? So what's the outcome of this relationship? Yeah, so this is us talking out in advance here. Okay. I think that you're getting involved with a really good person, but the things that you're overlooking now, it's going to bother you later. Because I kind of was like, I feel like this is going to kind of bother you. Because at the end of the day, and this might hit you 5 years from now, so keep that in mind, right? But it's like there's going to come a point in time where you're going to find yourself feeling like, damn, like I want... You know, I want somebody who's just as ambitious as me, as driven as me, that wants, you know, the most out of life, you know? Somebody who doesn't, because the thing is that you're also that type of person, right? Where it's like, if there's an area in your life that you're not 100% satisfied with, you're going to do whatever you got to do to improve whatever area in your life you're not 100% satisfied with, right? Them, on the other hand, it's like, this is that type of person that they may not like the fact that they make X amount of, you know, money, you know, a year, but they're just like, oh well, life goes on. You, on the other hand, you're not wired that way. You're just not wired that way. You're just not. Like, I feel like you want somebody who's just as driven and ambitious as you are. And then, you know, another thing too, which I feel like this is kind of, it's going to play into the role of why this is going to bother you later, because at the end of the day, and you're going to start to think about this maybe 5 years from now, but life be life in some fucking times. You know what I mean? And you want somebody by your side that you can count on, that you can, you know, rely on, right? And it's like, when you look at this person, you don't look at this person like, I can rely on you. I could depend on you. If life starts to life on me, I know that you can handle this and you got this under control. But the reality is that they don't. Not to say that this person won't hold down 50% of the fort down, you know, but the whole fort down, they can't do that. They're not in the position to do so. and they don't have the desire to be in a position like that. You know what I mean? Either, because not everybody wants to make a shitload of money. Not everybody wants to be the top dog. Not everybody desires to be that. You know what I mean? And I think that that's what's gonna bother you later. Is, oh man, like, if life, God forbid, starts to life on me, I can't rely on them. I can't depend on them. You know, they can't hold the fort down like you can. You know what I mean? Because they can rely and depend on you. If life starts to life on them, you got it covered. You could take care of yourself, you know, as well as them if you wanted to. They could take care of themselves, but as far as taking care of you and the bills on top, they can't do that. They're not in a position to do that. And I think that that's what's going to bother you later. It's going to bother you later because they're a hair away from being a King of Pentacles, which is a provider, a protector, you know, somebody who's in a financial position to be able to take care of themselves, you, and the damn bills. You see what I mean? But them, it's like they're only in a position to be able to take care of themselves, and then like probably like half of the bills, and that's it. And they're good with that. That's what I'm trying to get. Just try to like relate to you that they're good with that, and there's nothing wrong with that. It is what it is. You know what I mean? And there's gonna come a point in time where you're just like, oh, man, like, I don't know if I can do this, like, because I want a provider. I want somebody who's ambitious. I want somebody who's driven. Like, you want somebody who's like you, is what it is. And the only person out there that's like you is an emperor. So it's not a King of Cups. Hell, it's not even a King of Pentacles. You know, a King of Pentacles is a provider and a protector, but you know, and that's, it's a pretty good, but they're still not an emperor. You know what I mean? So listen, for right now, let's just focus on the energy right now. I think that this is somebody that you will go off and build and establish a life with. You will overlook the things that you're already kind of noticing from the jump that you kind of wish that they had, but it's kind of like, no, whatever. It is what it is. It is what it is. But everything that you're overlooking now, maybe because it's going to be years until this hits you. It's kind of because you're going to spend some years with them. This is going to hit you. And you're going to be like, oh, man, like, I want a provider. I want somebody I can lean on financially. Like, you're going to find yourself feeling like you're in an unfair relationship, but it's only going to be unfair in the sense where they can't do for you as much as you could do for them. You know what I mean? And, you know, we're talking about years later. So it's like you're going to be more older, you know, you're going to start to look at life differently. Your perspective of life is going to change, you know, like, so then there's that. And you're going to start to look at life differently. And you're going to start to think about things that you're not thinking about right now, which is what I basically mentioned. So I'm getting that this relationship, if in the event it does go south, it's going to be because you bring it to an end. It's not going to be because they did anything or anything. It's going to be because you're going to come to terms with the fact that as much as you want them to be an emperor, they don't have the desire to be an emperor, which is somebody of your caliber, somebody who's ambitious, somebody who's driven, you know, somebody who wants the most out of life, you know, somebody who's not afraid to work hard to go get it. You know what I mean? Somebody who's willing to do what they got to do, you know, to create and manifest the life they've always wanted for themselves. And I think that when you look at them, you know, you see that they're not trying to be that. They're just not trying to be that. Like they kind of come off to me as somebody who doesn't really have goals. They don't really have goals. They don't. They're just living. You know what I mean? They're cool with their life, you know? They're cool with the job that they have. They're cool with the whip that they have, the place. They're cool with it. You know what I mean? They're just cool with it. They're cool with it. You know what I mean? That's the best way I could describe them. So, you know, and there's that, you know, but they seem like a really good person. You know, somebody who genuinely does mean well. But if you're getting involved with them because you think, well, I could encourage them to be ambitious, I could encourage them to start a business, I could encourage them to find a better paying job, it is not going to happen because they don't have the drive you have. They don't have the desire that you have. You know, the motivation that you have, they don't have that. You got it. They don't got it. They're cool with their life. and how it is. You know what I mean? They're content with it. So just a little FYI, fair warning, okay? But that is what I have for you. Hopefully the reading helped. Hopefully it resonated. And I will see you guys in your next reading.